How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a collab hopeful goodness in the form of Ecliptic Brewing and von Ebert. Never heard of those guys before. This be their Blackberry Meyer Lemon Ale. So yeah, this is going to be a tart little sour jammer maybe? Ale brewed with blackberries and lemon. 6% could be a Belgian. Oh, well, how about we read? It says here, brewed with our friends at Von Ebert Brewing. This Vec yeast fermented ale was brewed with real blackberries and Meyer lemons and finished super dry. A blend of hops including Strata and Mandarina Bavaria highlight the fruity citrus flavors of this refreshing beer. The Ecliptic collabs I've had as of late have been really consistently fun. Not that they weren't before, but there was a little bit more kind of a deeper floor to them. Seems to be, wow, that's really aggressive. Vec yeast. Super carbonated, but yeah, they've been fun, man. And you know, a couple breweries I kind of heard of, never had anything before, never heard of these guys before. You're looking at two big boars, like wild boars on astronaut head bodies. Words are hard. So yeah, labels are right. Beer wise, it looks like a fruited beer. Let's put it that way. You're talking about blackberry and lemon kind of combination. Sure, that works. The head is super rocky. I'm surprised it hasn't crumbled on top of itself so far. So super rocky, super soapy kind of head to it. Soft kind of light, kind of almost like cranberry and vodka kind of jam going on right now. So anyway, let's get a nose. That smells really good, especially when you snort the foam. No, that smells really nice. Soft, refreshing. Reminds me pretty much of a non-tart version of like an OG kind of Berliner. You know, something with a little bit of kind of classic kind of syrup-based stuff, like a little bit of raspberry syrup. And you get that little lemon component from the kind of kettle soury kind of yeast kind of mixture. And that's kind of how it comes up, but without that kind of sour tartness to it. There's a sweetness to it. There isn't much as far as tartness, or maybe a little bit of soft acidity from those lemons. Done and done. Summer beer all the way. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. They said this finished dry. They were not joking. Wow. That's very dry. And the hops come off really aggressive here. But everything is so out of whack. So, first thing you get in the taste is that kind of berry leading the way. I thought the citrus lemon was really going to be a big pop here. It's not. There's a rindiness to the lemon that combines with the hops that brings this really bittering, tannic, like bittering kind of component towards the back end that lingers on the roof of your mouth. You talk about a lingering bitterness. This beer has it. But there's really no sweetness whatsoever to really help balance it off. Now, once you kind of throw on this heaping dryness, you know what I mean? This completely finished, no sweetness whatsoever left behind kind of thing. It's really a combination that should work. Lemons, berries, ale, little yeastiness, funness, done and done. This is just a straight miss for me. Yeah. You know what this actually comes off like for me? Is a undercarbonated or a lack of carbonated kind of seltzer. Because how undersweet it is. It comes off as like a seltzer kind of carbonic thing, but it's not. It's that combination of that lemon zest, lemon pithiness in combination with those hops. Yeah, it's a weird beer. Like, I almost want to add some sweetness to it, like add some sugar to it, just to make it something that would probably be really tasty. But since it's so devoid of any sweetness whatsoever, and it really leans heavily into a super dry beer with a big rindy and like a real rindy, that lemon, Meyer lemon coming through with that big kind of pop, those kind of, it's more the old school Mandarina Bavaria hops coming through. It's really just dry and bitter and dry and bitter and dry and bitter. He leaning super heavily in one direction. Yeah, it's not like disgusting or like offensive or anything like that. It's just so out of whack. It's just not for me. There might be some people who dig this. You know, I think a seltzer crowd person would actually really enjoy this. I keep thinking of seltzer. It's this kind of This is the kind of vibe I get when I drink seltzer. I just don't like it. Like, there's that old meme that seltzers taste like you're drinking television static while someone screams fruit from the other room. That's kind of how seltzer comes off for me. Now, the fruit is definitely here, but it's just that dryness on top of that bitterness with that big dryness that really just is too far in one direction for me to get all gaga over. Kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to this. I was kind of intrigued by it, but just didn't land for me. So yeah, that's all I have to say. This is huge bittering and dryness, both from the hops and that rindiness, pithiness from that lemon. And then the fruit is there, but it's just so far behind all that big dryness and bitterness that it really just stands no chance. When the lack of sweetness there, it doesn't really prop up that fruit to some kind of organic fruitiness. It just comes off as a subtle fruit flavor underneath all that stuff. Is it one of the better fruited beers I've had as late? No. I mean, in general, it's just not a beer for me. It's probably one of my least favorite beers I've had as of late. Just doesn't hit anything for me to really even kind of dig my teeth into one portion of it. Just not for me. Value to availability, it's Ecliptic. I know they can be found. I know they hit more than just their territory. They come out here on the East Coast, but I don't know the price point on this. They send me letters with these, kind of like when breweries, because this came from them. I don't know if I mentioned that. When breweries send you beers, typically they send off like a fact sheet, and a lot of times it has, tasting notes and pricing and stuff like that. I don't look at them on purpose. I don't influence myself at all. So I apologize for that, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like seltzer and you want to get in a craft beer and you want a bridge to get you there, this is probably perfect because it has that kind of uber lack of sweetness, that dryness, and that TV static thing going on. Yeah, you don't like sweet things, you'll like this. So there you go. We're reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of collab betterness. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.